Welcome back to Kicking It with the Callies. As you can see by the title, I'm going to be starting a new segment called Chopping It Up. So with Chopping It Up, I will have a guest come onto the show. We will pick a meal and a topic, and we're going to chop up the meal while we chop it up over what we want to discuss over the meal while we cook it and eat it. And who better to start off the segment with than my fiance, Ms. Nyla.
Hi guys!
So today, like I said, we're going to pick a meal, we're going to pick a topic. So the only twist is that the guest has to choose either the meal or the topic, and you want to choose which one.
I want to choose the meal.
Okay, so what are we going to be cooking today?
Fried chicken, macaroni and cheese, and green beans.
Alright, so we're going to do soul food dinner for lunch today.
Yes.
So she choose the meal, I'm going to choose the topic, and since our wedding is approaching within a year almost.
A year and
2 days.
2 days away.
We'll be talking about marriage today.
Okay.
So we're going to go to the store, get whatever supplies that we don't have, and then we'll see all that in a minute. Alright, so we just got back from Kroger. It's time to get cracking in the kitchen. First and most important step is to make sure everything is sanitized. So I already wiped down all the counters and everything. Now we gotta wash our hands. Alright, so of course we want everything to get done around the same time, so you gotta cook stuff in the right order. The longest stuff you want to start off first. So we got the chicken thawing out in the sink right now, and we're gonna start boiling the noodles for the macaroni or?
Yeah, I can do that.
Alright, bet.
So I usually just let the water boil first, and then put the noodles in when it's boiling.
I'm gonna get my big frying skillet out, you know what I'm saying? Get that ready for them wings. Alright, so marriage. Let's talk about marriage. How did you know that you were ready to be married?
How did I know? While you're doing this, I'm gonna multitask and make the cornbread mix. I don't know, because we've talked about this before. Like, for me, I wasn't one of those people that I had like a list of like, I need my man to, you know, have this, and this. I was just like, I just want my man. Like, I had a list, but it wasn't like a strict list. I just like wanted my future husband to be a man of God and to have an education, honestly, and to treat his mother right. So, and then we clicked. Our families got along well. So, and our relationship wasn't toxic. So. And I fell in love with you, so I was just like, I'm happy with you. I don't need anybody else. I don't need to test the waters. So yeah, that's just like how I knew.
So for me, yeah, we had a lot of conversations, and of course, this is neither one of our first relationships. So you know, we learned what we didn't want in a relationship, and you know, we were open enough to talk about what we didn't want from like the very beginning. You know what I mean? So. Just knowing that we had common interests, and we had common interests, and we both were like not really into like wasting time or dating around and stuff like that.
We date with intention. That's
right.
What I do.
So on top of that, we had a lot of conversations. We had actually been through some things that allowed us to show our characters in tough moments as well. So it wasn't like all good things that we went through leading up to proposing to you or whatever. Why now? Why so young? As some people would ask.
Why get married so young?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see the point in waiting. Like, if you know who you want, if you know that they are what you want, then I don't see the point in waiting. And it's like, we've been tested. We've been through a lot. So if we can come out stronger based off of those situations, then I feel like we'll be good. And it's like, I know exactly who I wanted, so I don't see the point in waiting. Like, honestly, if you ask me, I wanted to get married sooner. But I mean, everything is in God's timing, and I feel like we timed things good. God knew what he was doing.
Mine pretty much is kind of elaborating on the previous answer that I gave. It was just like, of course, like I said, I don't think it's as common for men to have like a checklist of who they want, how they want their wife or whatever to be. But it's just like certain things that allow Nyla to reveal her character, and it was all good things. Like, she pretty much just showed good character. She showed that she would have my back through some crazy stuff, and she was there to root me on for the good stuff as well. You know what I'm saying? So it was like she said, when you know, what's the point in waiting? When I called, talked to my dad about it or whatever, and he told me to just pray on it, and God just continuously showed me more and more why I should, why to me it was the right thing to do. It felt right, you know what I mean?
And also another thing, like, we've seen marriages around us. We've seen some successful ones. We've seen some not so successful ones. So it's like I kind of pick up on the things around me and like the marriages around me, and then I kind of just see what I want, what I don't want, and like his characteristics, and just compare him to like what I want for the rest of my life, and he just checked off those boxes.
How did I affect your original plans at all? Did I affect your plans at all?
Oh, my plans, like originally, it was just mainly career-driven plans. It was kind of like, this is what my career is going to be, and if I find someone, then he's just going to have to fall into the mix. And so I never really had like a deadline on like when I wanted to get married and stuff. I always wanted to be like a young mom, and I wanted to be married when I had kids. So I guess that kind of was just like, I need to find someone so I can be a young mom type thing. But it was never really like, you didn't really affect my plans, I wouldn't say. Okay. If anything, you like helped me be more realistic. I was like, I need to do this, this, and this. In this amount of years, I need to go straight to med school, no breaks, summer classes, every summer, work day and night, and then Jeff is just like, calm down. So, that was good.
Alright, well, chicken is done being thawed out, so I'm about to start seasoning while we continue our conversation. It was frozen, so all I did, I rubbed it off, you know what I'm saying, picked all the extra feathers and stuff like that off, and now I'm about to start seasoning. So I'm gonna do a little sneaky one. Make it a little spicy. Wedding planning. Let's talk about the plan. So we are T-minus 367 days away from our wedding.
Literally a year and 2 days away.
Yep. So
this video's not gonna go up anytime soon. Maybe like 2 weeks, but still. Like,
right. Well, today is July 15th,
yeah.
So we are 367 days out. How did you pick the date, first of all?
So originally, he proposed in October of 2019, and I love a fall wedding. So originally our plans were to get married in October of 2020, and then that kind of like conflicted with my cousin's wedding date because he was going to get married October of 2020, and it's like we had the same family, so like people were going to have to fly out twice to 2 different locations. So, and I didn't mind pushing it, and I was also kind of getting a little stressed with like trying to plan everything in less than a year. So we ended up moving it to summer of 2021, and it was like no significance. It was just like pick these dates. This has the least conflicting date with anyone's birthday or anyone else's plan, so that's the day we chose.
What has been one of your favorite parts of planning?
Okay, so my favorite part of planning is just how excited my family is. Like, this whole process has been like not stressful at all. Like, it's been so enjoyable. We've had monthly wedding planning meetings. Every meeting is just fun, and my dad is making things so exciting because he's so excited. He's like, okay, I'm gonna take over this, I'll do this.
So I want to take the time for both of us to pause and to say thank you to all our family and everybody who is helping us, because we have no stresses, we have no like tension between nobody. Nobody's bumping heads or trying to take over our thing.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Everyone's so respectful of our decisions. It's like no one's trying to like force anything on us. So that's like the most enjoyable thing about this whole process, is how supportive and excited everybody is for us and with us.
So then what would you say, if any, some of the more stressful or less enjoyable?
I wouldn't say stressful or less enjoyable, but it's like, I don't like making decisions. I really don't. I guess it was easy to pick our colors because those are like our favorite colors. But as for picking, like, for example, the flowers for our bouquets, Like, I don't like doing it because I'm like, oh, it's pretty, but this is pretty. Why don't you just do it type thing. So, I don't know. Nothing's really not enjoyable for me. I love every part of wedding planning. It's really fun.
That's good. Alright, so time out real quick. So, I'm done seasoning the first side of the chicken. I'm going to flip it and season the other side. I'm going to reuse this good flavored chicken grease already because it's not burnt. As you can see, it's a little dark because it's been used already, but it's still good. And it's probably gonna add a little bit of flavor to the chicken anyway. So I'm gonna get that in the pan and get that heating up. So by the time I'm done seasoning and flouring up the chicken, it'll be ready to go in that grease. Most enjoyable part of it for me is that like we just got a bunch of our best friends, you know, as our bridesmaids and groomsmen, and just like the mix of personalities is like hilarious. So all of my groomsmen are like in kind of groups. Like I knew these two together, these two, like something like that, and they all have like a different type of like humor, but we bring them all together for like the group chats and stuff like that, and it's just like a bunch of good laughs, and it's gonna be like good memories to look back on it. I don't have like a stressful moment in the wedding planning, but I just think it's kind of funny how some people who we haven't talked to in God knows how many years just assume that they, you know, are entitled to it, like in the invitation and stuff like that. Not to say that they might not get it or that they won't get it, but it's just like
the fact that they feel entitled.
How do you feel like you deserve that, you know what I'm saying?
So I'm going to use this for our cornbread, and I'm gonna just spray it down with some vegetable oil.
Yeah. All right. So this is the flour bag. I'm gonna add a little bit to it, I think, but it's all-purpose flour in here. A little bit of cornstarch. And then the thing that I started to do, shout out to Eli, he started that for me. I started to season my flour a little bit too. So it's a little bit of seasoning in the flour so that the crust can have some of that flavor that the chicken will have. So what are you most excited about, like, for the next 12 months of planning?
I'm excited for my body to be snatched so I can be looking good in my wedding dress, okay? Because your girl got a little punch here, but it's okay, it's all good. I'm gonna work it off, and we're gonna look good for the wedding. But I'm also excited to just plan things, like with my bridesmaids, plan our bachelorette trip, get their dresses and stuff. I'm really excited for all of that.
So I'm excited about some of the things that the fellas got planned too. I don't want to speak on all of it. I want some of it to be like a day of surprise to most people, you know what I'm saying? But of course, you know the fellas trying to go all crazy for the bachelor party. So I just want that to be a good fun trip. And then just seeing everybody come together, you know, I'm pretty sure that everybody in her bridal party is gonna try to look their absolute best. And my boys already said they come in GQ magazine, you feel me? Like we might get some modeling gigs after this, you know what I'm saying? And ain't nobody touching me, you feel me? Alright, so the last thing that gets started is the green beans. I'm doing cans because we got to do this quick. I mean, I don't want to have the video too long, and I was being lazy. I didn't feel like doing the fresh green beans. But I'm cut up a couple pieces of bacon in there and dice up some onions, put them in the pot, let that simmer a little bit, pour the green beans in there, boom shakalaka.
And here is the cornbread muffins. We're going to put them in the oven for like 12 minutes. I like to start off with 12 minutes and then just like time it every minute. I'll do a timer for like 12 minutes.
You had the option to either put the flour in the bag or in like a bowl. The reason I like the bag is because I kind of squeeze the chicken wings a little bit while I flour them so they can get like the flour can stick real good, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it just, you know, let the flour stick better, let the skin stick better while it's frying, you know what I'm saying?
So how I check if the noodles are done, I'll just take a little bit and eat it. And if it's the texture that I want, the softness, then yeah. I'm gonna leave them there for a little bit longer. We also clean up as we go because we don't want a big mess at the end.
For everybody who don't know, when you're cooking, you don't want the chicken to go in the grease while it's not hot enough, because then it's just sitting there and soaking up all that grease and the flour comes off, which means the skin won't stay on. So what you do, get a little bit of flour in your hand and just do that, and if it starts sizzling, like bubbling up a little bit, then it's hot enough to fry.
Noodles are done, perfect. So I'm gonna drain them and then put them in our the macaroni and cheese holder. So this is our glass thing that we're gonna put the macaroni and cheese in. So we only use one box, so it's not gonna be a lot, but I hope you guys can see this. So from here, we're gonna use the actual cheese that they give us and the cheese that we bought at the store. So we got Colby Jack, mild cheddar, sharp cheddar, and the cheese that comes with it.
So Nyla, what are some things that scared you about getting married?
Getting a divorce? A few things, I don't fear them in our relationship, but some things that I was scared of, like before, you know, getting married with anybody, like in general, is like you getting in a marriage and then the person's completely different and they're not who you were dating. So some people don't show their true colors until put in certain situations, so.
I agree with that for sure. It's always something to think about.
So we also add 1 egg and a little bit of milk.
So as a man, I feel like as a husband, I have a responsibility to provide and protect. Not saying that the wife doesn't have to help, you know, with that kind of thing, or that I'm obligated to do it all on my own. But if for whatever reason my family is not provided for or protected, it falls on me, you know. And everybody knows, like, you can't control everything that happens in the world, so that's always been like a scary thing for me, like just not knowing, like even with the, you know, COVID-19, like this could have been a point where, you know, I wouldn't been able to pay the bills or, you know, feed us or something like that. You know, even though she's an adult, she could do that as well. It falls on my shoulders to make sure that stuff gets done. But, you know, my faith in God and just our determination to get through everything together, I don't worry about that. But it definitely would be still an issue to think about if I didn't believe that she was, you know, ride or die. I wouldn't have married, you know, I wouldn't have proposed to her if I didn't think she would be, you know, be able to help me with that kind of stuff, but, you know.
And so I'm gonna just mix in the cheese and the macaroni. Fun fact, I hate cheese, but I really like macaroni and cheese. I don't like the chunks and I don't like the top layer where the cheese is just on there, but I cook it like that, but I always eat like under it.
Her taste buds don't make sense all the time. No cap.
Hello, mild cheddar. I don't even get the difference between cheese. Can you taste the difference between sharp cheddar and mild cheddar?
I don't know. I don't know the difference between like sharp and mild. I got that from my mama. But I know like the difference between cheddar, American, provolone. Like besides the little, I can taste the difference.
And then I'm gonna add Colby Jack as the last one mixed in. Alright, second to last step, I'm gonna season the mac and cheese with some onion powder, black pepper, and salt. Just a little bit.
So I'll let the bacon and the onions saute in the skillet a little bit. Pour the green beans in, season it with salt, pepper, garlic salt, pepper, onion powder, and Italian seasoning. Put the top on there. I'm gonna just let that simmer while everything continues to cook.
So I stuck the knife in the cornbread and it came out clean, so it's done. I'm gonna finish seasoning this macaroni and then put it straight in the oven. Alright, so mac and cheese is all cheesed up at the top. It's ready to go in the oven.
So everything is officially cooked. About to get ready to make these plates. We'll show y'all the finished plate product, you know what I'm saying? Kind of get it presented a little bit. I don't really do the presentation thing like that, but we'll see.
Let's taste this macaroni and cheese first. Rate it, see how I do.
Yeah. Yes, sir. I like that.
I did
Little
that.
green beans. You know what I'm saying? I like them, you know. You know, she a little more picky, so I don't know if she like it well. I like that. I like that.
Take a bite of this cornbread. I mean, it was different mixed though.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Moment of truth. This is what I wanted, y'all.
That one. You see that skin on there. I know you see it. That's that. Mm-hmm.
Homemade fried chicken is the best.
Yes, sir. That's the end of Chopping It Up with our first guest, Nyla. Any last words about marriage that you want to put out there for the young folks? Or?
For the young folks, like we're not young. I mean, I would just say don't rush. You'll know when it's right, and don't really care what other people say. I'm a big family person, so I just say I hear my family's advice and I take it, you know, circumstantial. But if you feel it's right, then you know, it's you.
Yeah. Same here, pretty much. Especially as the man, society kind of makes it our mission to make sure that we do right by the marriage. Like we propose, we pick the right woman, and we support and protect and all that kind of stuff. So when it comes time for you to pick your person, I say just keep God in it, because God created marriage, first of all, and He will guide you through it, and He'll let you know when the time is right.
And don't do things because other people are doing it. Like, don't try to follow them. Like, oh, my friends are getting married, so let me get married. It's not that. I mean, like, obviously every relationship has their ups and downs, but I just feel like everybody's relationship is their own, so don't compare yourselves and move at your own pace. Don't try to move faster or make your significant other move faster because everyone around you is moving faster.
Alright, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell button so you can have notification of when we post. And we'll see you on the next episode. As we always say, don't forget to keep dreaming. If you don't have a dream to chase,
You have no reason to move forward.
Peace.